International Monetary Fund hints of growing support to generally exclude Treasury bills from the debt restructuring. Meanwhile, government makes significant progress on reaching a deal with some donors and external creditors on debt restructuring. Also coming up, State Interest and Governance Authority vows to ensure state entities contribute at least 30% of GDP. And later on the Business Journal today, the spotlight is on women in trade who want close attention paid to barriers hindering intra-Africa trade. My name is Elikim Akuk. Let's set over the details now. There's a growing support to generally exclude short-term debt from the restructuring perimeter. That's according to a progress report by the International Monetary Fund. This means Treasury bills will not be affected by any debt restructuring despite the rise in interest rates. There is more in this report.
The fund at the Global Sovereign Debt Roundtable in the ongoing spring meetings in Morocco said the exclusion of short-term debt is a common practice under Paris Club treatment and an explicit feature of the common framework. It is therefore important for restructuring countries as it helps to maintain access to trade finance. In recent and ongoing restructuring cases, including outside the common framework, the fund pointed out that the practice has similarly excluded short-term debt from restructuring perimeters. On the treatment of state-owned enterprise debt, the fund added that some participants suggested the exclusion of government-guaranteed debt of financially viable SOEs from the restructuring perimeter. Others underlined that, typically for low-income countries, the joint IMF World Bank debt sustainability analysis include this in the DSA perimeter with limited exceptions.
Government has made some significant progress in reaching a deal with some external creditors and donors on a possible debt restructuring. This is what Joy Business has picked up from some creditors on the sidelines of the annual World Bank IMF meetings in Marrakesh, Morocco. George Rafe has a wrap.
What Ghana needs from these donor partners and external creditors, from what we have picked up from the IMF, is just a memorandum of understanding or an agreement that they are committed to this debt restructuring. And Ghana can take that agreement to the IMF board at their meeting at the end of next month to secure the next tranche of funds, that is $600 million. What we have picked from these donors or some of these external creditors here in Marrakesh is that, in principle, they are not against this external debt restructuring, that they are fully committed to it. Based on these bilateral engagement that they've had with Team Ghana, the government delegation, they are making some progress, and very soon they will append their signature to this MOU that Ghana can take to the board to secure this next tranche of funds. We're also picking up that next week there will be another round of engagement with external creditors, and based on the terms that government has presented to them, it looks like they have no objection and they are likely to sign up to this MOU that would help Ghana secure the next tranche of IMF funds.
That was George Biafe with the wrap from the annual IMF World Bank meetings in Marrakesh, Morocco. Meanwhile, government has expressed optimism of a full recovery of Ghana's economy within the next 2 years. According to the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Dr. Amin Adam, government will be heavy on measures aimed at addressing food inflation. He explained that the Finance Ministry and other partners are working to restore stability. He was speaking on PM Express Business Edition.
We were supposed to have recorded a primary deficit of 0.4% of GDP. We recorded a surplus of 1.1% of GDP. The economy is showing resilience, and we are showing that we are moving from recovery to stabilization. It won't be long. Over the next 2 years, the economy will be stable, because the right decisions have been taken, and then we have worked so hard to implement those decisions and the enabling environment that will bring us back to the pre-COVID period, where investment levels were very high, not just government investment, but also foreign investment. We are going to see that coming back.
Dr. Amin Adam is the Minister of State at the Finance Ministry. The State Interest and Governance Authority has resolved to ensure that state entities contribute at least 30% of Ghana's gross domestic product. According to the Director General Edward Boateng, the authority is putting measures in place to address inefficiencies and losses by ensuring state enterprises abide by strict corporate governance practices. This, he believes, will enable the entities improve on their contribution to the economy. He spoke at the Public Enterprises League Table Awards.
For them to move from 5% in 2017 to 21% in 2023 is a major achievement. They can do better. As I said in my remarks, you go to China, and the biggest contributor to the tax net are SOEs. In our case, until very recently, they were all posting losses. So we believe that in the years to come, if we're able to do what we're doing well, SOEs should be the biggest contributor to our tax net because they manage over 50% of our resources. And it's sad that for a long time we're just posting losses. So that is going to change.
Edward Boateng is the Director General of the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA. The Ghana Chamber of Mines is leading the charge to produce effective public campaigns on environmental sustainability. According to the Chief Executive Officer, Suleiman Akoni, the industry is focused on balancing economic growth with environmental responsibility and social progress. He says the chamber is making efforts to deepen discussions on the relevance of sustainability to the fortunes of the mining industry. Mr. Akoni spoke to Joy Business at a capacity building event for mining firms.
Capacity to our members and our various stakeholders about sustainability. It's also to engender conversations and sharing of experiences on the same theme, and also deepening the issues around sustainability and how to report them. So first and foremost is what is sustainability and the need for us to implement sustainability in our respective organizations. And once this is done, the expectation is that you should be able to communicate both internally and
That was Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Suleiman Akoni. Now, in the business journal, Women in Trade want close attention to be paid to the ecosystem challenges and capacity building initiatives created to scale up exports in their value chain. They want an improved environment to trade to enable them to fully take advantage of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Today on Business Journal, Love FM's Mona Lisa Frimpong engages women in trade as they highlight specific actions they wish to see as they traverse the continent engaging in trade.
According to the Engine of Trade in Africa report, there is high price of doing business. This is due to high cost of utilities, IT services, as well as limited forms of transport. Greenhouse farmer Olivia Amponsa Echampon begins to realizing her export dream is the cost of production. During power cuts, she buys water to irrigate her crops.
Yesterday we were having an issue with the lighting, so we couldn't use the pumping. So either you do manual or gravity. And sometimes if it prolongs, you need to go and buy water. And the water you're going to buy, you don't know the salt content or how the water tentacles, and it might affect the plant.
As a requirement for trading under the AfCFTA, goods must be 60% Ghana made. But there is difficulty in accessing raw materials, especially for Vivian Awoche, a shoemaker.
Raw material na me di ejuma na ye ni wo Ghana ha o. E pieces na abrofo na yusu no. Ghana fo ni bi nso aje ato mo ho Asante region mo kofa ba.
Product certification and export documentation are the most meticulous processes in the export requirement. Businesses bemoan the difficulty in entering the international market and trading with ease. CEO of Gifted Hands, Abba Bezi, narrates the story of a colleague whose application has taken over 2 years. She is worried she might be hindered too.
Because I have a friend I spoke to who is into manufacturing of cosmetics, and she already has put in application, and from last year to now the application has still not gotten to approval stage.
Businesses outside the capital of Ghana, Accra, seldom have access to training opportunities. Olivia wants training to be extended to other regions.
Most of the trainings, if you heard about it, is in Accra. So sometimes if you are busy, the transportation in and out, sometimes you don't get time to go.
Limited access to agricultural inputs, technologies and extension services hamper women's effectiveness and productivity. Akosia Amevo is CEO of Kishikozi Company Limited, a palm oil producing firm. She is hindered to move up the value chain in producing value-added palm oil.
What we are doing here is being done manually, so it's very cumbersome. So when we get machines, that will help us to be able to produce more.
Meanwhile, the Ghana Standards Authority and the Food and Drugs Authority have affirmed their readiness to support businesses with product registration, standardization, and certification. For Joy Business, Mona Lisa Frimpong reporting.
Africa.
And that brings us to the end of the Joy Business Reports. But before we go, the EcoBank Salary Account is a special account designed for workers of all income brackets desirous of receiving their salaries through EcoBank. With the EcoBank Salary Account, you are guaranteed all the benefits of a normal savings or current account, plus many more. EcoBank Salary Account gives workers free life insurance of up to 10,000 cedis, 24/7 access to cash and e-banking services, internet and mobile banking services, high interest and savings, no minimum balance, ability to save through the EcoBank Save As You Spend, a unique feature that helps customers to save and invest. Remember, the insurance policy covers death, permanent or temporary disability, critical illness, hospitalization, retrenchment, and more. Savings or current account holders at EcoBank do not have to close their existing accounts to enjoy the numerous benefits of the EcoBank Salary Account. Just ask your branch to switch your existing account to the EcoBank Salary Account. Non-EcoBank account holders should approach any EcoBank branch and ask for the EcoBank Salary Account. Switch your salary account today and enjoy amazing benefits at EcoBank. EcoBank toll-free number is 0800 003225. Whenever, wherever, for further details. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. Ignition is next. Do enjoy. My name is Eli Kem Aku Kumbe.